So I guess this is what happens when we trade away Bret Hart. What's up, YouTube? This is Mathos97 and welcome back to an episode of Smackdown vs. 2008 General Manager Mode. And holy crap, a 4.5-star match over on Smackdown with Bret Hart in it. So, yeah, as you can see, Raw is 120,000 fans beneath us, which is not good. They should not have been able to close that gap. But, you know, all the rage was in the last video. So let's just try to make a positive out of this. We'll use it as a driving force to try and boost up our show. Hopefully we don't lose our second place spot to Raw, because that would be a big bummer. Big bummer. But let's go ahead and get into our match card. And as we can see, we're really hyping up this main event. We have interviews with Sabu and Terry Funk, which will build anticipation to this First Blood rivalry main event between Terry Funk and Sabu. So I'm going to go ahead, that little handicap match there, I'm going to trade away Bobby Lashley pretty soon, so I got to make sure I kill him off. So might as well get a victory out of it for three of our superstars in that handicap match. And here's the rest of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure Bobby Lashley loses this thing. And there will be a nice little transition here, and he's lost. Alright, because, I mean, last time he was supposed to lose and he didn't. As we can see here, matchup, Matt Hardy defeats HBK with Jeff Hardy ringside. So that's another big victory for the Hardy Boys. And Batista defeats Randy Orton with Edge at ringside. And this rivalry submission match, Chris Masters with the Master Lock, making Mr. Kennedy tap out. But with that little Batista Randy Orton matchup, as we know, Randy Orton was the ECW championship. He won it back, or he was the ECW champion. He won the championship back at the last pay-per-view we had. And then Edge beat Randy Orton for the title the following night on Raw, or not Raw, what am I saying? On ECW, the ECW following the pay-per-view. And then like 2 episodes after that, because Orton and Batista had rematch clauses, we kind of wanted to get Batista out of there, and hopefully it was going to turn into a Batista Edge, or I mean not a Batista Edge. It was going to turn into an Orton and Edge feud for the title. Instead, Batista won the championship back. So now we've got Edge and Orton kind of working together against the common enemy. So they both want to be ECW champion, as they both held it for a very short time. Orton more so than Edge. But yeah, so that's kind of where that match stemmed, as you're probably wondering, like, okay, the rivals, why are they working together? But, well, that's kind of the reasoning behind it, and it kind of makes sense. I want to take out Batista, as he's the biggest threat at the moment, as he is the champion. But enough about the previous matches earlier tonight. As we can see, I don't know how you counter from a taunt. That's one thing that I don't really like. Well, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I mean, like in the newer games, if you're in a taunt, you can't counter. You're going to get hit with whatever. And that's a bit better than in something like this, where he just kind of was in mid-taunt and then somehow delivered an elbow to Sabu. Don't get it. But anyway, that's enough about faulty gameplay mechanics. Let's focus on the match and the story behind the match, as it is Sabu and Terry Funk here. As we remember, back at the pay-per-view, it was Sabu, as that was it was a mix of rivalries. It was a hardcore tag team match. The team of Terry Funk and Mick Foley taking on the team of Sabu and Mr. Kennedy, which was an odd pairing. But like I said, it was a mix, hoshpot. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. But it was a mix of rivalries. And Sabu was on fire that night. But Terry Funk actually got the victory over Mr. Kennedy. He got the pin while Sabu was in mid-moonsault. And I mean, even before then, Sabu had a matchup with Terry Funk. He was a bit frustrated with him. I think he got the win on that occasion. And since then, you know, frustrations have been building between these two superstars. And, you know, this is all going to culminate to that one big super feud, super match that I have planned for December to Dismember, where it's going to be like hardcore or some sort of awesome match at December to Dismember, where it's going to be like Sabu, Sandman, Terry Funk, Mick Foley, all battling it out. The 4 hardcore legends. Should be fun, but we still got to work on getting there and hopefully keep the crowd interested, as well as keep all of y'all interested, as this is the 3rd and final episode in the session that I was recording the last time. So then we're going to start getting to some new ground. I know we have the feud coming up with Mr. Kennedy and Chris Masters, and I'm going to repeat the question once again. I did get some options, but I realized I got a comment actually saying trade for Bret Hart, Finlay, or Chavo Guerrero, and I just recently traded Bret Hart. I know that. I had Finlay before, and then looking back, I actually had Chavo too, which I did not even realize. But I don't know, I kind of would like to get some new people in here, but I don't know, I could always go for some other superstar. I mean, I don't know, it's up to you guys. Feel free to leave some comments down below who you think I should trade Mr. Kennedy or Chris Masters for, because as we know, they're in a loser leaves the brand rivalry, and whoever loses is going to leave the brand. We're going to go ahead and trade them away for somebody, anybody. Not Sandman, though, because I plan on trading away Bobby Lashley for Sandman. So that way, it's going to give you guys free choice, and that's not going to be until the Survivor Series. So there is going to be a while before I actually trade the loser of that rivalry away. So I still have some time. You guys have some time to send in your suggestions who I should trade for. We got a couple of episodes left before the Survivor Series pay-per-view. And I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be immediately in the Survivor Series episode. So that could even give another episode for you guys to pick who I should trade for and all that whatnot. But as we can see, big drop kick to the face there by by Sabu to the face of Terry Funk. My apologies there. And now a big running clothesline, a flying clothesline there from Sabu. Almost reminiscent of the Undertaker's clothesline. As that Arabian facebuster is very difficult to set up. So Sabu's got to make sure that Terry Funk lands on his face so he can hit him with that facebuster. But it's too late now. Lost the finisher. And he's going to take him down with a nice hip toss. So yeah, these two superstars in a first blood matchup. So obviously they're going to want to have to target the head. That's definitely the primary target in this one. But Sabu here looking for a diving corkscrew. Move doesn't even hit anyway. I don't like those moves where, I mean, you could say, you know, they like go down and they like land on them, but they don't really, like there's no animation for them to land on it. It's just kind of, they land in that area. Not like, you know, if you do a moonsault and you actually splash and then like whether you pin them or whatever. Or like that elbow that we just saw where Terry Funk, like this back suplex, this is an animation. Or that running elbow that Terry Funk did, that is an animation. But, you know, like when Terry Funk, like you just saw when he punched Sabu from behind, he just kind of swung in that area and just happened to connect with Sabu. So, I mean, I don't consider that animation. That's just kind of, he's swinging and hitting whatever's there, but it doesn't really count. Or whenever Sabu, like, stomps in the area of where, you know, just any superstar, if they stomp or do a leg drop or something. Like, see right here, that wasn't really, that's an animation, that's what I'm talking about. But if Terry Funk would, like, go over there and, you know, try to strike with, like, an elbow or something, it's not an animation. It just kind of drops an elbow in that area. Like that stomp. That's a perfect example. It's not, I don't consider that really an animation. He just kind of kicks in that area and just happens to hit Sabu. But that was a nice side tangent there. Anyway, Terry Funk now back in the ring, looking to taunt it up, and now Sabu. No, this is no disqualification. So obviously, with a first blood match, you want to try and use whatever weapons can aid you to bust your opponent open. And look at this. Nope, Sabu was able to block it there as they're both fighting over the ring bell. Looked like Terry Funk was gonna hit him in the face with it or something, but now Terry Funk, these two are just fighting for that ring bell because whoever gets the shot, oh, kick right to the side of the head. Terry Funk, nice enziguri. Because whoever gets that ring bell, I mean, this is definitely going to help them in busting their opponent open, as we can see right there. Sabu just connected with the face of Terry Funk with that ring bell. Now Terry Funk maybe trying to take it back, get a shot in of his own. But now look at this, Sabu. Oh, there's one right to the ribs there, right to the gut, and now one to the back of the head. As that's got to be getting very close. Terry Funk, I mean, both these superstars could be getting close to being busted open here. Here's Sabu now. Arabian facebuster. As you can see, there's the leg drop, the springboard over the top rope, landing right on the back of the head of Terry Funk, driving him face first into the mat. And I'd have to say Terry Funk's about ready to be busted open. I mean, that Arabian facebuster is definitely going to wear out the head, is definitely going to weaken Terry Funk here. And now Sabu looking to go extreme with a steel chair with a moonsault. Almost looked like his knee could have hit the ring bell, but it was just very narrowly missed. And now Sabu just kind of waiting for Terry Funk to make it back. Oh, no, he's not. Not even waiting. Was going to do a leg drop there with the steel chair. But Terry Funk was able to roll out of the way of that one to avoid it. And now Sabu placing Terry Funk over there in the corner. And what is this? Going to the top rope. And there's a Frankensteiner off the top rope. And that's definitely not going to help Sabu bust open Terry Funk by any means. But now he's just kind of waiting, trying to do whatever sort of damage he can to Terry Funk. Because this is not just about winning the match for Sabu. This is about getting... I don't know. He's just been very frustrated, very furious with Terry Funk. Very angry for whatever reason. And this is just about punishing Terry Funk. And now Terry Funk is busted open there. Steel chair right to the face. And that is it. Sabu has won this one. Terry Funk put up a good fight. But Sabu, with the steel chair to the face, takes down the veteran Terry Funk. And busts him open. So Sabu the victor in this one. So Sabu's actually been on quite a roll ever since the pay-per-view when he lost that match. He's been getting some good victories. Actually, that six-man tag match he did, I mean, in his singles matches, he's actually been doing pretty good. That six-man tag match from last week, or last episode, nah, he lost that one. He took a tombstone from The Undertaker. Was he this? No, he was the second eliminated, so he didn't quite make it to the last of that one. But, anyway, let's go ahead and check out the match ratings. We can see somehow the handicap got a 4-star, so we got an overall 4-star show. 3.5 for that matchup, 4-star for Batista and Orton, 3.5 for the submission match. And the main event got 4.5-star. Yeah, take that, Bret Hart. Take that, Smackdown. Most of all, take that, Raw. It's a 4.5-star, 4-star show. Hopefully, that means we can start catching up to SmackDown. Let's go ahead and extend Elijah Burke's contract. Whereas Bobby Lashley, his popularity, and not his popularity, his contract is coming up. He's got 1 week left, so let's get him out of here. Let's go ahead and trade for Sandman. So you can see Bret Hart is the top guy on ECW. I mean, on SmackDown, not really a surprise. I don't know, just sort of taking a look. There's any guys you see here you might want me to trade for. I mean, I already got suggestions for like Finlay, Bret Hart, Ciampa. But if you see anyone else, like, I don't know, if you want me to get a diva, maybe Candice Michelle or Kelly. Or if you want, you know, like a Ric Flair or John Cena, I guess, even though I just traded him not that long ago as well. The Rock, maybe, if you want. If you want me to get the Chris Jericho or Hulk Hogan creative wrestler, it's completely up to you. Feel free to leave suggestions, and I will take that into consideration, or maybe do like a voting thing or something. I don't know, but as you can see, The Rock, actually, I think at one point he held every single title on SmackDown, except for the Cruiserweight, because he's not a Cruiserweight, but every title he could hold, he had held. So I don't think he has them all right now, but what we're going to do right here, we're going to make sure that we drop Bobby Lashley's popularity. We don't want SmackDown getting any more popularity out of their superstars than they need. We want to make sure that we keep it as fair to us as possible by sabotaging them in this trade. It's close enough to Sandman. It's not quite a 78, but it's enough that we can get Sandman from SmackDown. So hopefully that does not come back to bite us. We're going to go ahead and simulate now through this week. We're going to see how the ratings did, and hopefully we got some new fans behind us. Alright, so we got some messages here from Vince McMahon and Taz. Let's check out the ratings for SmackDown. They got a 4-star. I mean, okay, Lashley was on the losing end of that tag team match, which, yeah. I mean, these matches make a little bit of sense. Khali beat The Rock. Ha! Okay, how about the... What is this? 4.5? There wasn't even a 4.5-star match. There was one 4-star match. This is not a 4.5-star show. JTG's WWE champion. Oh my. Justify this Monday Night Raw. Oh my God, we're in last. Why? Why does this game hate ECW? What is this? There's no method to this madness. What? How is this a 4.5? And how is Raw past us? Will we ever win the GM of the Year award in ECW? I know, I guess that's for us to find out in the future. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Smackdown vs. Raw 2008 General Manager Mode. Keep on YouTubing.